Welcome to Iron Wolf Medieval and Fantasy Craft. I'm Austin, and today we're going to be working on a giant mountain for your Wargaming or Diorama. Now before we get started, I would like to say this video is going to be in two parts. The first part is going to be the construction of the mountain, so just the basic construction, and the second part is going to be the painting, the detailing, and all the foliage. And then we'll have a complete mountain. So make sure you check out part 2 of this video. So without further ado, let's get started. The things you'll need for part 1 of this project are gloves, a writing utensil, an X-Acto knife, a bowl or bin, something to put water in, foam board as big as you want the mountain to be, the base of the mountain, 2 large sheets of cardboard, some glue, but we actually use tape instead, some cheesecloth, a lot of plaster of Paris, and a lot of magazines or newspaper or anything to crumble up. Alright, so we cut our cardboard so it's the same width and length as the foam board on 2 sides, and now we are drawing on a basic mountain shape corner to corner and making sure the tip hits the top of the cardboard. And we're doing that with both of them. It doesn't have to be perfect or center or anything, just a little design like this. And the second one, see how the the peak hits the top. And now we're going to cut out those. While you're cutting these out, you don't have to follow exactly the lines that you drew. It's just kind of a guideline to where you need to cut, but you don't have to follow the exact design. Okay, so now that they're cut out, we're going to take one of them and start from the top and cut straight down almost all the way to the bottom, but don't cut all the way through it to the bottom. So you cut down about 3/4 of the way. So it's like this. And with the second one, you're going to cut from the bottom 3/4 of the way up. So there's a little bit of cardboard left at the top. So it's like this. So now you're going to take the 2 pieces of cardboard and slide them together, and they should slide perfectly, and it'll make a 3-dimensional mountain shape. So it'll be like this once you put it together. So now what we're doing is taping the cardboard mountain to the foam board, and you want to tape the mountain to the foam board at the base, and you also want to tape the creases of the mountain so it's nice and firm. Okay, so now we're ripping apart magazines and crumpling them up and putting them in the mountain. And you want to do this all the way around the mountain and just stacking it up, making the bulk of the mountain. So pretty much just fill up the entire thing. Alright, so we have most of it filled, and now we're taking some Scotch tape and putting it over in little strands across just a lot of the loose pieces so it holds it together. And you just want to do this randomly, just all over the place, anywhere where you think it'll fall if you hit it or something, just to hold it in place. And so this is what it should look like when it's all taped up and all filled up. So now we're taking our cheesecloth and cutting it into about a 1-foot-long strip, and we're keeping it folded in half so it stays thick. And so just cut up all the cloth you have into strips. Now we're mixing the plaster of Paris. So we filled the thing about halfway with water, and then we just dumped probably about a quarter of that container in there just to make it nice and thick. You don't want it too watery, and if you make it too thick, it'll harden on you really fast. This stuff has a working time of about 7 to 10 minutes. So now we're dipping the cheesecloth into the plaster of Paris mix, and we're laying the strips out over the mountain, and you just want to overlap it just a little bit. Try to get rid of any like lips for the overlap, and just try to make it as smooth as possible. And you want to cover up the entire thing, get as close to the bottom as you can. So now we're gonna go ahead and do a complete second layer over the whole thing with the plaster and the cheesecloth. So just cover up the entire thing again. This will just make it a lot stronger and not so flimsy. And now we are just taking straight plaster and rubbing it across the whole thing. This will smooth out any of those lips you have and make it a lot stronger, and also get rid of all those holes in the cheesecloth. When you're doing this, make sure it's a thin layer because you don't want to get rid of all those ridges and hills in the mountain. It just makes it look more realistic, but you just want to do this to kind of smooth everything out but still leave a little bit of detail for it. So this is the basic construction of the entire mountain. Now after this, you're going to want to clean up. Plaster of Paris is very messy and hardens very quickly, so I would recommend doing this in a garage or somewhere where it's easy to clean, and I would lay down a sheet or something because this can get extremely messy. So that concludes part 1 of this video. Make sure you check out part 2 to learn how to paint and detail your mountain. And thank you for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.